morning, everyone. Hi, happy Monday. Today, we're going to do some more handwriting, okay? So for today's lesson, what you'll need is some paper, and you can choose whether you want to have paper with a line on it, or if you want just plain paper, that doesn't matter. If your child is still just beginning to form their letters, so they're still quite unsure of what shapes they need to represent each letter, then I wouldn't recommend lined paper because they're too busy trying to figure out what shape they need, let alone what size they need, and the lines on the page can confuse them. So either plain paper, or if your child's getting better at forming the letters, if your child's getting better at forming their letters and you think they're actually quite good at it, then you can add the challenge of one line on the paper, like what I do. Or if your child's really confident with forming their letters, then you can start to introduce lined paper, still probably quite chunky lined paper, and start talking about how different letters are different sizes. Okay, but for most of us in the class, we should be working on a blank piece of paper or a blank piece of paper with one line across the middle. Okay, so you get what you need ready to do your writing. I wouldn't recommend doing handwriting with any weird and wonderful shaped pens, as it doesn't help us with our pencil grip. So just go back to a standard pencil. If you have a pencil gripper to help you, that's fine. If you have triangular shaped pencils and pens, that's also fine, but just a normal pencil will do, okay? I've obviously not got a normal pencil, I've got a normal pen, but there we go, close enough. So get what you need ready to do some handwriting, and I will share my screen. Okay, hopefully you can see that, and hopefully you can still see me. So, can you remember the names of these letters? We call them caterpillar letters. Can you remember why we call this group of letters caterpillar letters? Do you remember? It's because they all curl around like a curly whirly caterpillar. They all have that same basic shape within them. So once we've cracked how to do a curly caterpillar, then we're able to form the rest of them with just a few tweaks. Okay. Last week we practiced the letter A, C, O, D, and G. And if you want to, we could revisit those letters now before we get started on our new ones, okay? I'm going to go through them quite quickly, so you can pause the video to have time to practice, or if your child is really confident and you've been practicing these all week, then you can just skip straight forward to the new letters, okay? Before I get started on my writing, I just want to remind you about encouraging a good pencil grip, okay? Most children in the class have figured out which hand they write with, which is great, but they are still trying to figure out how to hold it in that really good tripod grip. So where possible, can you encourage your child to hold their pencil between two pinching fingers, pinch it, and with your other fingers curled around, okay? And you might want to use a pencil grip to help your child maintain that shape. Another trick, if you don't have a pencil grip, if you don't have a pencil grip at home, what you could do is put some blue tack or some Play-Doh around the end of your pencil, and that squishy sort of texture can help your child with that pincer grip, if that pinching pincer grip, if they're still struggling with it. And it also can give just a little bit more stability. Okay, the other thing is quite often they start with their tripod grip and their pen goes straight up. So you can gently encourage them to move it down and rest it in the bed of their thumb. Okay, just like that. And we encourage them with their handwriting to start with their actions really big, so the letter shape coming from the shoulder, getting smaller and smaller until eventually we can do that letter shape coming from our wrist, so our shoulder and our elbow remain stable. Okay, so shall we get started? Okie dokie. I'm just going to whiz through then the letters that we practiced last week. So here we have the letter A, and remembering where we start that letter, the first thing we do is curl around the caterpillar and carry on up and go down and flick. Perfect. If you'd like to pause the video to practice that letter in more detail, you are welcome to. If not, I'm going to skip forward. Well, after you've had a turn, obviously, I'm going to skip forward to the next one. C. Starting here, not here. Most of our letters start at the top. We curl around the caterpillar. Stop. Perfect. Got it? You have a turn. Pause the video if you need to. Now for the letter O. We start here. Bit of a weird point to start, isn't it? You maybe want to start here or here, but it's actually here because remember we need to curl around the caterpillar first and then just carry on. Okay, you have a turn. Pause the video if you need to. Next, D. The letter D, that's actually just a really big looking A. Really exactly the same pattern that we follow. Ready? Curl around the caterpillar. All the way up. All the way back down. And flick. You have a turn. Pause the video if you need to. And the last one that we practiced last week. Ready? Curl around the caterpillar. Up. Down, 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 and curl around. Well done. You have a turn. Pause the video if you need to. Okay. Today's letters. These ones are a little bit tricky. Okay, a little bit trickier than last week's, but they still do contain that basic curling around shape, okay? As you can see, I've used lines, and that's completely up to you and wherever your child is at in the writing process. So this letter, guys, is the letter Q. Can you name it for me? Q, 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 okay? And we start in the same place as we did, for the letter A, just here. Can you take your pointing finger? You can hold on to your pen if you wish. And we're going to do that shape really big first. Ready? So we curl around that caterpillar. Stretch your arms as you do it. Go up that little bit. And then we go down, 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 and a sharp flick. Really sharp flick, that one. Okay. Shall we do it again? Still keep your arms in the air. Still doing it with a big motion. Ready? We go round the caterpillar. Up. Down, 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 and a sharp flick. Not a massive sharp flick. We went down, 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 and then I did a sharp flick like that. No, that looks a bit messy, doesn't it? Don't make your flick too big. Let's try again. Ready? Round the curly caterpillar and up. Down, 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 and sharp flick. Got it? Perfect. It's your turn to have a go at writing this. Make sure you do that curly caterpillar C shape first, going in the right direction. Okie dokie. You can pause the video to practice. How did you do? I bet you did it beautifully. I can't wait to see some photos. Shall we move on to the next letter? Let's see what it is. The letter, do you know its name? I know it makes the F sound, but what's its name? E, the letter E. Can you say it? E. Here is the letter E. What do you notice about this letter? It doesn't start in the same place, does it? No, it's a bit of a trickster, this one. The letter E does not start in the same place. It doesn't start at the top like our others. A lot of children, not you obviously, but a lot of children start their E here, and we don't start our letters at the bottom, do we? No, so don't start your letter here, even though it's really easy because it's just a curly whirly shape. Don't do that. We start this one in the middle and we flick up. It's like we throw our pencil up into the air and then curl it round to make the C. Okay, it's not this shape. We don't go straight out and over. Okay, I don't know. I just don't like it when it looks like that. So we don't do that. It is more that we flick it up and curl it round. Okay, should we have a go? Right then, take your pointing pencil in the air, get ready to use your arm to do that big motion as we go round. Ready? Starting in the middle, flick it up, and then curl it round. Oh, whoops, look, I've not made it touch. That's because I was rushing, wasn't it? And I've missed it. Oh, let me try again and do it a bit more carefully. Ready? Flick it, throw it up, and go around. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Flick it up and then around like a C. Should we practice it one more time? Ready? Flick it up and go round like a C. Perfect. Are you ready to have a go on your paper? Go on then, have a try. Pause the video now and try to form the letter E. How did you do? Is it a bit hard starting in a weird place? It's going to get weirder, trust me. The next letters are very tricky. Ah! What's the name of this letter? Do you know? I know it makes the S sound, but what's its name? It's the letter S. Right, the letter S, bit weird, okay? The letter S is weird because you change direction, and you change direction in a wobbly way. So even though this letter maybe looks easy for grown-ups, for children, it's really, really tricky. Okay, so we really need to use our whole body when we are trying to do this. So to warm ourselves up for forming the letter S, we need to practice doing that with our hands, and maybe even both of our hands going over and changing direction. Okay, can you do that? Yeah, like some kind of hippie dance. Practicing going one way and the other way, one way and the other way. Trying not to make it too jerky, trying to make it curvy. Okay, can you get your pointing finger and your pencil? Can you do it with that? Around, do, 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 do. Maybe you would like to practice that pattern first, making a wibbly wobbly pattern. Okay, down your page. All right, so that changing of direction is really tricky, and sometimes children will make it more of a squiggle because they just need more practice with changing direction. Okay, sometimes children will just kind of go round and then just kind of keep going round because they don't know how to change that direction in the middle. So this one, definitely lots of big movements first before we go into actually writing it. Okay, once you've had lots of practice with big movements, we'll try and do it with little. You ready? You can get your pointing finger in the air and we'll form the S by itself. Ready? So we do go round like a caterpillar, but then we just flip it back the other way. Round like a caterpillar, and back the other way. So it's like you curl back up the other way. Round like a caterpillar and then back the other way. And remember to flick it up. Don't go round like a caterpillar and then back the other way like that. Oof, looks a bit funny, doesn't it? And don't go around like a caterpillar and then just kind of leave it hanging. Round like a caterpillar and then back the other way. Bring it round. Okay? It's really tricky. I know, as grown-ups you think, oh, it's just S, it's fine, it's really easy. But it's that change of direction that can make it really tricky. Notice as well, children really struggle with the number 8 because it's that change of direction. Okay, so you can pause the video and have a practice at this as long as you like. And ready to do the next letter? Oh my goodness. What's this? Do you know what this letter is called? I know it makes the F sound, but what's its name? It's the letter F. The letter F. Now this one's a funny one because this is a tall letter and a letter that hangs down. So it's one of the biggest letters that we form, the F. But because it's the biggest, we need to make sure that it's very curly, because otherwise we might get confused and think that it's a capital letter. If you do a big letter and you use lots of sharp shapes, then it looks like a capital letter. So we make it nice and big, but we need to make sure that it curves like the rest of the caterpillar letters so that we don't accidentally think that it is a capital. Okay, now this letter uses the same principles as the S, so it's that change of direction. It's just stretched in the middle. So we go round, and then rather than changing direction straight away, we go over and then we pull it down before we go the other way. Should we have a go? Okay, so we go over this way, pull it down, and then back the other way, and then you cross it. So again, you might want to practice just that shape by itself. Over, stretch it and flick. It's very hard to do with a computer mouse, sorry. Over, stretch it down and flick. Okay, and once you've got that kind of fishing hook shape, over, pull it down and stretch and flick, then you can start to add in the crosses. Okay. Why don't you have a go? You can pause the video now and have a practice. But before you do, I'm just going to say goodbye. I hope you have fun practicing forming your letters. I'm sorry that they're so tricky this week. They really, really are. Shall I find you some easier ones next week? Yeah. Okay. Before I go, just a reminder that there are lots of ways that there are lots of ways that you can practice your handwriting. You can practice practically using chalks or painting, practice in the bath with bubbles or steam. If you've got whiteboard pens and you're feeling really brave, you can let your kids loose on your fridge with whiteboard pens if they're cleaned off quickly. Clean off a fridge quite nicely. I'll leave that one up to mums and dads. Or you can even do that tickling on the palm to practice it too, okay? With handwriting, if you think this is something that if there's a particular letter or anything that your child's really struggling with and you think, oh, I don't know why they can't get it, with handwriting, it's best to do little and often practice. So definitely not sitting for 45 minutes on repeat practicing that same letter. It's not going to get locked in the brain that way. It's just a couple of times throughout the day. Can you just come and trace the letter F, the sound, onto my hand? Or can you just quickly come and have a go at writing that on the chalkboard before you go and play? Or maybe doing something like that, maybe every time you are about to stop for dinner or for a meal, say, right, quickly, just before you have your snack, come and have another go at that letter, and then you can have your snack. And then just quickly before we go and have our dinner, come and have another go at that letter, and then you can have your dinner. Okay, so just a little low pressure, lots of little times to practice it and repeat it. It's more likely to get it locked in. All right then. So I will leave you to have some fun with your letters, and I look forward to seeing some photos of what you do on Class Dojo. And remember to upload on Class Dojo so we can give you lots and lots of dojo points to say well done. Okay? Well done, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. Still don't know how to get out of these things quickly. Bye, everyone.